Greetings, I am Lies.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together.
Yes.
Alright, so Sayori just did some improv performance for us right in the hallway.
And it was amazing.
And
Honestly, it was
Splat
very good.
Duly unimpressed.
Completely.
Which is appropriate.
Sounds
Sounds
about right.
Alright,
Yep.
so here we go.
Doesn't make him any less of a jerk, though.
Nope.
I just meant that it's pretty unordinary contrast to your cute self.
Which is what you should be, a two-dimensional cute self.
That is all you are, and that is all you will ever be, and trying to do anything else is just embarrassing.
You're such a disorganized disaster anyway, you know.
I don't think you could influence anybody with that look, huh?
You're barely passing for cute as it is.
You should really stick with what at least you know, okay?
Don't say that. It's embarrassing.
That is what you're going to say to that? Is that it's embarrassing? Or it's just like, whoa, that's really mean. That's so oh, it's embarrassing to have this point. Like, that is such a, sort of submissive kind of oh, you're right that I am embarrassing, but also, yeah.
On the other hand, Splat did do a slight pullback and a little bit of placation of going, wow, no. And Sayori going, oh my god, that's so mean. And going, what I mean is, it's not your usual self. And then Sayori's going, so I really did change character, but don't say anything, it's so embarrassing, is what I'm getting.
Yeah, but it's still, horrible.
Oh, no, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad, but that is an unusual response.
Yeah.
It is. All right, well.
Here we go.
But I guess.
You're correct.
That means I'm doing a good job.
Yay!
Yay! Yay me!
I'm adorable. And also I was able to perform in a dramatic way. I have a dramatis persona.
I was able to pull up something other and different than just
cute. Yeah, I guess so.
I'll be so excited.
Yes! Oh my god, it's
Sayori's
so bad.
like, you know what? I have an unfounded crush on you in this abusive dynamic, and I will take any validation I can get and spin everything as positive as possible. And that's what I'm going to do. And if you've said something that validates my goals for myself, such as that I managed to achieve something different than my norm when I was trying, then I will take that compliment and I will own it. I'm so excited.
I'm so happy.
The festival is going to be so much fun.
Sayori spins herself around in the hallway again, and I feel nauseous just watching her.
Yeah. Hey, Splat, this classroom over here is empty. Look at that. They're never empty. I forgot all about the supply closet and where we were going, but just randomly stating the obvious or pointing things out just because that classroom right there is empty.
We could go be alone in the classroom.
Either that or perhaps we could just steal supplies from this classroom because no one can stop us.
Yay!
So instead of going to what might be considered the supply cabinet, we could just go to
a supply cabinet. And one that nobody will really miss or perhaps
or
notice.
If they do, they won't know who took it.
Yay! I'm also like, ooh, do you guys not have
an actual art supply
budget?
closet?
Yeah.
Or an art room with art supplies?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. The mission. Let's begin the mission. We have
the mission.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Splat, I'm right with you in this one. I'm like, the mission? I thought you were literally just going for supply.
Why is it the mission. Supply closet? Or to the... We're not supposed to be doing this, are we, Sayori? We actually haven't gotten clearance or approval or anything. This is just something that we're kind of doing, or is this saying that literally none of us have money? So we're not gonna go, get our own things?
So what I'm going to say to all of that is that I'm not in charge of the club, and Monica told me to get supplies, so I'm gonna do it.
You're the vice president?
Oh, well, let's ignore that for the moment and we'll get supplies together.
I'm gonna take my thumb and shove it up my ass. It's been a long time since I spent time with Sayori like this, and I am regretting every fucking second of it.
What is like this? Doing a task together?
I think so. Been alone together. It's been some time.
But you guys were literally alone last week when she recruited you for the club.
I mean, that's like out in public, I think, more. This is like after school where it's just you and me. As far as we can tell, there's nobody else really around.
I guess the hallways are always empty and the club always seems like it's after school, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's my guess, really. Is
Okay.
going, like, we haven't really spent much intimate personal time because when you're out and about in the world, there's always the threat of somebody really actually just showing up or people in their houses / condos or apartments.
And what I was thinking was Sayori went and got us in the empty classroom where we were the last one there and then took us to the club. So I assume, and in this hallway, which looked just as empty then, so I'm
Splat
like,
looks up at the heavens. Why didn't I just die right then?
it would have made
Oh my God.
my life so much easier. You'd have been dead, which would have been
Been
easier.
easier? Excuse me, in the end, she hasn't changed one bit.
Ugh.
She's nothing but a ball of sunshine, drawing happy vibes from the world around her. I'm gonna be sick. It's pretty nostalgic. It's a pretty nostalgic feeling for me, and I hate it.
Sickness
Like,
is
ugh.
really familiar to me when I'm around Sayori.
Sayori.
And I am not a fan of that kind of nostalgia.
Just really. As the years went by, I began to hole myself up in my room more. Whoa.
Wait.
What? I began to hole myself up in my room more and more.
Sudden, unexpected exposition.
So going adventuring with Sayori brings about a special sort of feeling I forgot I had in me. That might be indigestion. I think it's indigestion.
So you remember back in that time at the beginning of the game, because I get to break the fourth wall, when I was telling you that, like, I didn't want to do things and Sayori and I had grown apart, but we just used to be friends, like, way back then? Way back then is when we used to do things, and that's what I'm thinking about now. And I've kind of been holding myself up in my room to sort of get away from all that, but it's back.
Ta-da. I hate it. Oh my God. Can I express this anymore that this is just sort of
Oh, look.
awful?
This classroom is identical in every way to the one our club happens in.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's just the other side.
It's okay.
It's okay. The two of us
Or-
enter the classroom.
I say, or this is the classroom that Sayori originally picked you up in. Because that is exactly the view we had when Sayori showed up to get us to go to the club.
All right, it's true. Sayori heads straight to the closet, and I follow.
Walking
the closet
backwards so that I can see the chalkboard while I
is
head
at all
there.
times. I know the chalkboard is out to get
so
me.
I can see the door as an escape route.
Ooh, why isn't one of us like standing guard or some shit? If this is like some shady shit, I should do that. Actually, Sayori, you do it. I'll leave you here, and then you can get caught. Bye.
Yeah, this is identical to when she came and picked us up for initially the club.
There is something to be said, though, about identical classrooms
Oh,
in
yeah.
some areas. Like, I know some people go, oh, well, you know, that's ridiculous. Everybody personalizes. It's like, actually, not every teacher
What
has
I
the
mean
same budget.
Is more like this framing with her standing there and everything.
Oh.
We're not facing towards the closet or heading towards it or anything.
No, it's weird.
It's like, and again, I love this idea that Splat entered the room and then was like, we head for the closet immediately. And just turns around and walks backward going, I will not engage.
Excuse me while I just, ow, in the fucking, ow.
God
Have you
damn
ever actually
desk.
done that with those desks? So when I was a kid, I actually like ran into some of those. I remember them hurting like crazy because they were like solid experiences.
I mean,
like,
they are hardwood, but the last time I was around one of those desks was when I was in 4th grade, which is the last time I went to actual school.
Yeah, the last time I was around desks like that was actually in middle school for me.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, that's not true. It was when I actually went to a high school for some basically summer school education because I was trying to figure out basically what I needed to go back into regular school.
Okay.
When I actually ended up leaving the charter school that I went to, I took summer school for a summer.
Okay.
And then had made the decision going, I'm not going to go back to regular school.
I say,
Oh my God.
either that, or the implication is that we walked over there, then we turned around in front of the closet to look at Sayori. Sayori is standing in front of us, looking over our shoulder into the closet, while we sort of stand against the, door frame. leaning on the
I'm
door
too
frame.
cool to look back.
Yep, like the cool kid, you
Yep.
know, the cool delinquent, like we're in Greece.
It's
and then,
fine.
let's see what we have in here, Sayori says, leaning around us, looking through the doorway, but still staying in front of us where we can see her.
Which is really weird.
Crayons!
Sayori pulls a box full of crayons off the shelf.
She just leans around you, reaches into the closet like I'm reaching into somewhere scary and horrible, and then yoinks the crayons out and stands back in front of you again.
I got it!
I get it! That was a really awkward way to do that. They're the best brand, too.
Okay, so my brain
I love that we just talked about crayon brands. Anyway, go ahead.
No, actually, the thing that's killing me is going, and they're the best brand that I will not say.
I know, right?
Like this level of going, like, we're not going to talk about any of the literature.
It's like in My Nurse Girlfriend of going, my generic and unlabeled hopes and dreams, TM.
So you can insert whatever you want in here, and so it will never necessarily date itself.
Or that type of thing of just going, it's my favorite product.
Yeah.
Of some kind. Yes.
It's actually one of those things. So, you'll notice that one of the reasons. So, what people, some people actually don't know what this means. So, I'm going to go over this real quick. Is actually when somebody talks about something being dated, is that if they put objects or things in there that are clearly a brand, like if they have a particular style of Coca-Cola, if they have like Timex watches in their particular styling, if they use like iPhones or they use iPads, or
it timestamps your game or your location,
and it also will timestamp like basically roughly around when they were going for, and it's something that sometimes is really hilarious when you look back at older movies and go, what the fuck do they have in their hands?
Or when they have a real interesting mix of, basically their
sort of lingo also
historical prop individuals, the people who are going, here's your prop house that is providing you
prop department.
Your prop house that provides them and your prop department that chooses
right.
the things that are going to be in your historical, experience. And if they don't know the range of the 20 or 30 years, like you can be like, and here's this, and then that piece should not exist yet, and this one was 10 years earlier and was out of date, that kind of thing, that it doesn't all feel the kind of localized modern that they're going for, if you know what you're looking at. And it's really fun to have like a history buff in the room for the time period that your movie's supposed to be set in and have them sort of tear it apart. Like I love some people who do that, who are fashion majors.
Oh yeah.
And then look at the clothing and go, okay, corsets were not worn over the bare skin, so you could just have bosoms at your leisure. Put on the underclothes. That stuff's digging into the skin like a nightmare.
Yes, there's been some great breakdowns on YouTube, and I would link to them, but I don't have them offhand, and I can't think of anybody directly. So, unfortunately,
we may attach one to this episode, and if you request one in the comments, we definitely will.
Yes, we can go find some because we have some favorites. Best brand, just generic
best
brand
too. They're kind of dirty though, almost like they've been used a lot.
Sayori starts pulling various crayons out of the box, reading the color names. Oh God, are they going to be the melodramatic ones?
Oh my God,
holy shit!
Are.
God, they were so funny.
What she's going to basically do is produce an impromptu slam poem by reading the crayon colors.
Honestly, I would be for it.
Yes.
But I remember when people would be like the Black Pit. Remember where there was one brand in particular that I think I remember. It was either like a marker or it was a crayon where they would just be like edgy names.
They did really edgy names.
Super fucking
honestly,
funny.
Crayola came out with at one point, I think it was during the 90s, they did customer named crayons kind of thing. Like people got to develop their own colors. Like they had this giant contest thing and they got to name themselves. That's where you had the macaroni and cheese colored crayon.
Oh.
And things like that. And I don't remember a lot of them. One of them was like Midnight Sparkle, and it was like a deep purple with like glitter in it. But macaroni and cheese is the one that I remember. It was really specific, like Velveeta orange. And there was a number of other ones, and some of them were like Twilight Forest and things like that, and they were more edgy names. But some of them were like like The Void is just your blackest black kind of thing.
That's so good. Reading the color names. All right, that's one down. Sayori,
her quietly,
put it fucking back in the box.
Blue, genuine
Sayori.
cyan.
Oh my God.
The pinkest pink.
Sayori, don't get distracted now, please, dear God. We still need to fight. Hello.
Red,
oh my God, we still need to fight.
Burnt orange, burnt sienna. Oh, wait, I'm looking for my favorite color.
Pink.
It's a really important part of the process.
But.
And I've got to find it.
Oh my God, fine.
You could always look at the closet yourself, but I know you won't because you only use your best effort when you're really happy. But I'm just happy to be spending time with you.
This isn't fun.
Well, I appreciate that, but it might start to be.
No.
I could.
No.
You never know.
Then at least move aside so I can look for the poster paper.
The implication here of her standing on this side of the classroom in front of us with the door behind us and we tell her to move.
She could be like... Now, I don't even know. It's fine. Look for the poster paper.
We didn't have the budget to draw a closet. That's what.
Yeah, pretty much. I
dropped one by accident.
It broke.
You leaned down and bonked your heads together. That's what this is.
That's
a Have you both went for the crayon at once.
Smack.
Yeah!
Sayori bends over and smacks her forehead right into the shelf.
I love that. Even better, Splat just dodging gently out of the way. Because if she was in Splat's way, then she bends down to get the crayon. After showing the crayons to Splat, means I bent toward you. And then you just casually moved, so I hit the shelf.
Yep,
That's
pretty much.
amazing, and I love it.
She falls to the floor, and crayons spill all over her lap. And I continue to judge her.
Irritating.
Because, you know, what else are you going to do with Sayori? You okay?
Ow.
Please shut up.
Ow.
Like, I'm so tired of it.
My whole entire forehead. Ow.
Poor baby. It's my whole forehead. Not a section of my forehead, but it's my whole forehead. Sayori clutches her forehead.
All of it. Ow.
Jeez, Sayori. It's just like you, isn't it? Come on, let me say. Since Sayori is sitting on the floor, I grab her by the waist.
And pull her out of the closet.
Waist.
Yep.
Holy
so I lean
shit.
all the way down into a full half body bend, reach below her ribs and grab her waist and pull her up.
Wow,
Crack
that's...
her head into the shelf on the way up, too.
I was about to say, that is such a child moving gesture. Like, people bodily, like, so grabbing, like, by the arm or by the shoulder is one thing, but, like, grabbing, like, the waist, in my experience, that is something an adult does with, like, a small child.
Also, if she's got her hands to her forehead, because she's holding her forehead.
And she's curled forward.
You know, and she's, whether even she isn't curled forward, if she's just holding her forehead, you have to reach under her arms.
Yeah.
Which you could have grabbed her arms.
Yeah.
Instead, you have to get deeper into her personal space to do that gesture based on what they have described.
Like, there's some level of, like, physical invasiveness that I do not like. Like,
it is strong here.
I get sometimes where it's like, yes, you're picking somebody up, but, like, especially considering... So the reason why I'm nitpicking this is because Splat's behavior basically with Sayori before this has been incredibly, like, woo.
It has. And it continues to be.
And...
it's consistent.
Hey!
Also, though, I'm just like, a friend, someone who wasn't trying to control you or invade your space, would generally just get down on the floor with you.
Yeah,
especially since the crayons are all in your lap. Grabbing her by the waist and standing her and pulling her up out of the closet spills the crayons further. So it makes even more of a mess, risks dragging her on top of the crayons with her feet to catch her balance when you stand her up.
Yep.
So you break crayons and make a mess, or she tries to lose her balance again on the crayons.
Like I said, it's like a parent with a small child, and
It's a reckless
very
behavior.
patronizing.
Get out of that experience and over here.
And I have actually seen adults do this to children, and it's been very frustrating as just somebody watching going like, wow, you are incredibly goddamn controlling. Well, you're in the middle of a mess, and the only way I can minimize that mess is to grab you, shove you in a corner, basically, where I can watch you / control you, and then I will clean and control everything else. Like, up. Like, I just, You have to move your hands, Sayori!
But it hurts.
Just
she
do it for a second!
Trying to catch her balance on the crayons crunching under her feet. We did not pull her up. She's just on the floor.
That is...
So we pulled her up and then dropped her again? And the crayons did not spill everywhere. They just spilled some, I guess?
I'm also like, she hit what shelf? Are we literally saying the shelf over here in the top left-hand corner?
It's going to be inside there behind her where we can't see it somewhere.
Right? I'm like, there's a chair in there. What are we talking about? I don't understand.
And that's the kind of thing I'm having of going, so she was back inside the closet.
Right.
And had gotten something and then, leaned down when she dropped a crayon.
Right.
And hit her head. And then she sat down inside the closet. We grabbed her and pulled her up and dragged her out here, and then she sat down again? Is what I'm getting?
I don't know. I'm also like, this is weirdly, like, again, that weird thing earlier where we're going, this is pretty invasive and intimate, and especially considering this pose, this is
They also suddenly upped the size of her boobs for this pose.
Yeah, they kind of did.
Or the emphasis on them, at
But
least.
again, for premium art, that makes total sense because they're trying to make her more attractive, which is where I've been wondering, going, is the subversion just literally going, oh, you thought this was going to be a dating game, but instead it's going to be a horror game?
It's an asshole
and that's
game
it?
Where, you, the protagonist, are actually a horrible monster, and you have to play through yourself abusing people?
No, that's great. That's my favorite activity.
God, that would be terrifying. But in this case, we're gonna
Well, let me read the line first.
Okay.
Because it's already here. So it
Sorry.
says, Sayori slowly releases her hands from her forehead. So we're going to find out in the next one just what her damage is, and I imagine it won't really matter all that much to your protag unless it does. Like, again, I can't tell exactly what we're going for here, and that's fine. But I'm just sort of, I keep waiting for something to happen, because at this point, I am personally completely unimpressed. Other than the fact that, we actually went with the main character that is truly being an asshole, but I don't know if that's the point.
I don't know if that's the point either. Unfortunately, there are so many main characters that essentially come off as well-meaning assholes that are in the right, such as we've mentioned recently in a couple of our other series, watching Maid-sama, where we're like, Usi is behaving as an asshole.
Yeah.
He's invading her space and basically behaving like Splat. He's not being judgmental towards her in the same way, the love interest in the show,
sort of.
but he is being very, about like her personal choices. He's being judgmental of her overall choices, which he deems will get her in trouble and be dangerous.
Yeah,
and then he must be there to rescue and fix in his own preferred way.
Yep, and he's magically better than everyone else.
So, it's hard for me, having watched a reasonable amount of romance anime and seen a lot of questionable behavior that is nonetheless framed as romantic and desirable, or leading to the romantic and desirable, or dismissible because of other romantic and desirable things, that I don't know if Splat's really abnormal at all. A lot of the guys are kind of really hot jerks that have intense romantic moments.
Yeah, and
that's kind of what I see a lot.
I'm not saying that you can't have, basically, again, fictional stories like that. I don't want to stop anybody from doing it because it's fiction. It's just the biggest problem that I have of people going like, it's so deeply romantic, and I'm like, it is a romance genre-aimed story, but it is not, in my experience, a healthy romantic relationship. No, it's kind of like people talking about, again, like 50 Shades of Grey, not having any idea that it was an abusive, basically domestic situation. People going, you can have something like 50 Shades of Grey, but what the problem really came out was going is that the author was like, no, it's totally healthy.
I say the important thing here is, one, that you can do whatever you want with your fiction.
Yeah.
Whether or not it makes someone uncomfortable is not whether or not it's a good piece of fiction.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But when looking at these and contrasting them to your real life, or the education they provide you, or the basically social direction they can give you, it can be really harmful if you don't know what you're looking at. Like, if you don't realize that people are invading each other's spaces, that they're dismissing withdrawals of consent and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That, playing hard to get looks really cute on screen, but when you actually don't want someone to say no and they act like you're playing hard to get, it's very dangerous.
Yes.
So again, engaging with the media and being aware that while in fiction you can do whatever you want, it's important to realize what the real life parallels are if you're attached to the fiction at all.
And also recognize that it's just fiction.
Yes.
Like, there are tons of things, these don't act like regular people at all.
And that cannot be duplicated from fiction to real life. So,
yeah.
that too. But anyway.
Yes, so thank you very much, guys, though, for joining us. In the next one, we are going to deal, like I said, with Sayori's forehead, so we will find out what's going on. Poor Sayori. Poor baby. So, if you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also please feel free to share our videos if you're having a good time with us. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or our Patreon. We got some links in the description down below. And other than that, though, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
Baby.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!